Fanteam.com are bringing Champions League football back with a bang and offering a €250,000 guaranteed prize pool contest, which will cover the group stages only. Put your fantasy football skills to the test and turn €25 into a €50,000 payday. Enter now via the link in the description. Welcome to the Game Week 5 team selection, and as always, we're going to start with a look at how the team did in the previous game week. So let's cast our minds back to before the international break. It was a week where a couple of standout players made up for the rest of the team. The decision to hold on to Son in the end proved pivotal. As we approached the Game Week 4 deadline, Jose Mourinho's comments suggested that Son will be back sooner than first feared. It was really the way that he progressively downplayed the injury more and more throughout the week that made it seem like he could be playing mind games. But the South Korean showed no signs of a hamstring injury as he and Kane ran riot in the 6-1 win over Man United. The other key player who delivered was captain Mo Salah, who scored both Liverpool goals in that unbelievable 7-2 defeat at Aston Villa. Aside from that, the only other real points came from the double up on Southampton defence, with their comfortable 2-0 win over West Brom. It's unreal to think that Podence was playing out of position at home to Fulham, Jimenez was alongside him up front, and Ings was at home to West Brom. There were effectively 3 forwards there, taking on the league's 2 most porous defences, and yet they all came away without a return. But I can't complain too much with a score of 69 points in the end, and that's seen a rise up to around 105,000. So let's move on to the transfer plans ahead of Game Week 5. Last game week, things were obviously a little bit up in the air with the Son injury, and not knowing how serious that was going to be. Calvert-Lewin was somebody who very nearly came in, but after deciding to keep Son, the budget allowed for Jimenez instead. The in-form Everton forward scored his 6th Premier League goal of the season against Brighton, and then followed that up with a debut goal for England. That Liverpool fixture no longer seems like something to be put off by, following their collapse at Villa, and so this week is surely the week he finally does come in. Danny Ings has served me well, and there's no way I could have sold him before that home fixture against West Brom, but now could be the time. Those next 3 fixtures are deceivingly tough because of the form that Everton and Villa are in, and Southampton seem to have taken more of a defensive approach since the heavy defeat to Spurs in Game Week 2. There's a second change on the cards for a 4-point hit, and that will be to upgrade Podence to Grealish. The Wolves midfielder only recently came in himself, but the move got off to a bad start with the injury, and since then, Pedro Neto has reaffirmed his starting place, with a couple of good performances. Adama Traore was on the bench against Fulham, and if someone drops out of that front 3 to accommodate him in the 11, I fear it could be Podence. Jack Grealish is someone who's been on the watch list. He's in form and his fixtures look good right the way up until Game Week 16. I haven't made these transfers yet, there's 0.1 to spare, so I can afford to wait until after England play their final match in this international break against Denmark on Wednesday. There is a small doubt over the fitness of Kevin De Bruyne, and if it proves to be serious, that could change the thinking with the transfers. But at the moment, it's looking like his withdrawal from the Belgian squad was just a precaution. With that in mind, here's how the team is set to line up in Game Week 5. Southampton have kept back-to-back clean sheets against Burnley and West Brom, but the trip to Chelsea will be a bigger test for them. The Blues rank 6th best with 10 goals scored across the opening 4 game weeks, and only Leeds, Liverpool and Spurs have recorded more than their 24 shots on target. So Kyle Walker-Peters moves to the bench and Luke Ayling takes his place in the 11. Leeds restricted Man City to just 2 shots on target in the 1-1 draw last game week, and didn't concede a single big chance. Wolves have scored just 4 goals this season. Only Burnley, Fulham and Sheffield United have managed fewer. It could be a tricky week for captaincy, given that Salah is away to Everton in the Merseyside derby, often an unpredictable game, while De Bruyne is up against an Arsenal side that continue to improve under Arteta. So it will be Heung-min Son who takes the armband, even though West Ham themselves have come into some form. Spurs have recovered well since the opening day defeat to Everton, scoring a league-high 12 goals in the last 3 game weeks, and also recording a league-best 15 big chances. In the same period, no player has picked up more points than Son, with 43, an average of 14.3 per game. The South Korean ranks joint top with 6 big chances, on par with Calvert-Lewin, and he's created a further 2 big chances himself.